one I'll talk about is melting point determination. How can we determine melting point of a substance? Okay, so and this melting point determination is used to assess the purity of organic compounds, of solid compounds. So pure substances have sharp melting points. Pure substances have sharp melting point. Take note of that. While impurities have a broad range. Okay, they have a broad range of melting point. So the introduction of an impurity in a substance alters the boiling point and melting point and makes it to be what? To be broad instead of what? Sharp. Take note of that. So the next method for determination of the next one we'll talk about is chromatography. Okay, so inside chromatography we have several types of chromatography. We have the thin layer chromatography and we have the paper chromatography. So what or how does this chromatography works? Chromatography is a technique that separates based on the difference in the migration of the components through a medium. Okay, so based on, for example, we use this chromatography to separate the various colors in an ink. Okay, you can separate this color because those colors travel at a different speed. Okay, so the speed at which they travel will now indicate which one is which through the what? Mobile phase. Okay, so we have that the thin layer chromatography used as a stationary phase. The stationary phase in a thin layer, we have the silica or alumina on a plate, and the mobile phase is the solvent. So there will be a certified solvent for that particular chromatography, which will carry those components that are traveling, or those components you want to separate along with it. Okay, so the next one is the paper chromatography. Of course, this one uses filter paper. This is the most common. Okay, in secondary schools, in high schools, you guys should know about this. Okay, you use your paper and you mark up your line and then put the component you want to separate and then soak it in the solvent at the point of close to where the ink or the color where you want to separate is. Then the solvent will travel and then start traveling with the ink and start separating them into several components, of which after you are done with that, you calculate your retention factor, your RF value, and then be able to ascertain which one is more mobile. Okay, so paper chromatography uses filter paper as the stationary phase and then solvent as the what? Mobile phase. So the solvent is what takes the component or the mixture of anything you want to separate, like colors or oils and the rest of them. So these are some of the techniques you need to understand. Just get to understand them, and then you can be able to write anything if asked in your examinations.